On this Solemnity of Christ the King, our liturgical year comes to a close. For those of us who are paying attention, all our gospel readings this past year have been taken from Luke, often known as the Gospel of the Poor or the Gospel of Mercy. This year was an obvious choice for the Jubilee Year of Mercy because of our gospel cycle alone. Luke's gospel is directed to those who are poor and in need of God's mercy. And we see that in the beautiful stories from the prodigal son to the Good Samaritan to Zacchaeus the tax collector, who we heard about just a couple weeks ago. This past year, we have heard every Sunday how Jesus humbled himself to bring God's mercy, God's peace, and God's joy to everyone he encountered on the way to Calvary, where we end the liturgical year with today's gospel. My brothers and sisters, the mission of Jesus is clear. Go and make disciples. How do we make disciples? It's not by proselytizing or shoving the Bible down people's throats. It's by doing what Jesus did, bringing God's mercy, God's peace, and God's joy to everyone we encounter. That's the mission, and we are all called to take part in it. Yesterday morning, Cardinal Supich became a member of the College of Cardinals, and he is asking all of us to take up this mission as disciples with a fresh vigor and enthusiasm, not just for a year, but in a way that transforms all our parish communities for generations to come. The Cardinal, gotta get used to saying that, the Cardinal is calling this effort Renew My Church, and he has asked all of us priests to tell you more about it this weekend. The title, Renew My Church, is inspired by the encounter St. Francis of Assisi had with Jesus as he prayed before the famous San Damiano cross. And it was in that moment that Francis heard Jesus say to him, "Rebuild my church." Renew My Church is a multi-year initiative to ensure the sustainable growth of the church for the future. It will create vital, vibrant, life-giving Catholic communities across the Archdiocese and inspire disciples to accompany all members of our family of faith to seize this moment and to make the mission of Christ our own. This renewal is happening both at the larger archdiocesan level as well as here at our local parish level. Renew My Church calls each of us to face our challenges and commit to a renewal of faith, active participation, engagement in a broader and more diverse family of families in our parish, and most importantly, to deepen our personal relationship with Jesus Christ. My challenge for all of us on this Sunday morning is to pray and ask God how He's calling us to carry out the mission of bringing God's mercy, God's peace, and God's joy to everyone we encounter. Can we take part in the mission by becoming a lector, Eucharistic minister, or an altar server? Can we take part in the mission by becoming a sacristan or helping to beautify our church through our art and environment ministry? Can we take part in the mission by attending our adult faith formation series or serving in our new Salt and Light ministry? Can we take part in the mission as a student by joining a new club in school or our high school youth group? Can we take part in the mission by inviting our neighbors we know are Catholic to Mass next weekend? Can we take part in the mission by bringing canned food for the poor and joining us at our Thanksgiving Mass Thursday morning at 9:30? Can we take part in the mission by starting to pray as a family every day, either before a meal or before we all go to bed? Pope Francis is inviting us to take up this work of spreading God's mercy, God's peace, and God's joy without discouragement from the challenges we will face. We are called to complete this mission together as a family of faith, and doing so will make us stronger disciples together and a more vibrant and life-giving church that we will be proud to hand on to our children and future generations. This is our mission. This is why we were baptized. This is the mission of the church.